Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are stepping right into the casino. But listen, we aren't playing poker here. We are playing a much, much higher stakes game. We are mastering vectors for the Cambridge AS and A-Level Mathematics 9709 exam. And frankly, the strategies we're unpacking today lay the absolute groundwork for foundational papers too, like the 0580, 0606, 4024, 4037, 4040, and even the 9231. In this high-stakes environment, you need to know exactly when to hold, when to fold, or when to push your chips all in. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine a real Cambridge mathematics past paper question. The tension is incredibly high, the clock is ticking down, and we have two typical candidates looking at the exact same vector problem. Let's call them Alex and Sam. Now, Alex is our classic overloader. Alex looks at the problem and just throws every single raw mathematical fact about vectors onto the page. There's absolutely no analysis, no structure, no strategy, just a desperate brain dump of everything they memorized. On the flip side, we have Sam. Sam is rushing against the clock, panicking, and completely missing the command word requirements of the question itself. When we put their final answers side by side, covered in the examiner's red pen marks, it's a total disaster. Both of them are leaving massive amounts of chips on the table. But today, right here, we are going to fix that. We are going to build your ultimate exam strategy. Okay, let's dive into this, because understanding method marks is truly your ace in the hole. This insider secret, coming directly from a senior examiner, is the ultimate safety net for vector problems. It is literally what separates the top-tier candidates from everyone else. Think about what happens when you miscalculate a completely simple scalar multiplication, or maybe you mess up a negative sign during a vector subtraction step under pressure. If you just punch numbers into your calculator and write down the final answer, you get a 0. You've completely bested. But if you actually show you're working, if you lay out your vector notation clearly, step by step, systematically, the examiner is literally forced to award your method marks. It's exactly like getting a guaranteed rebate on a losing hand. Alex and Sam both failed their questions not just because their final numerical answers were wrong, but because they absolutely refused to play the method mark strategy. They didn't show the examiner the conceptual logic behind their vector addition or subtraction. They didn't prove they knew the math. So here is our roadmap for today's session. We've got 4 crucial steps to cover to set up your insider's playbook and guarantee you won't lose easy marks on your exam. First, we'll tackle the vector challenge. Second, we'll build out your procedural frameworks. Third, we'll look at the top examiner warnings. And finally, evaluation and strategy. Moving right into section 1. Before we continue, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCS to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon right now. All right, the most critical realization you can have right this second is that simply knowing vector math isn't enough to secure top grades. You can know exactly how to calculate a magnitude, you can know exactly how to find a unit vector, and you can be a total master of scalar multiplication. But if you do not know how to actually play the examiner's game, you are going to lose easy marks. So ask yourself, why do students lose easy marks on vectors? The core problem we see year after year is the massive gap between knowing raw mathematical facts and executing the actual examiner requirements. Every single question has a command word, and you need to decode it instantly. Are they asking you to find, to show, to prove, or to calculate? Furthermore, top students structure their math answers using a highly logical flow. I want you to think of the Peel framework that you probably use in English essays. Point, evidence, explanation, link. Now, in high-stakes mathematics, this translates beautifully. First, stating your point or principle, like explicitly stating you are using the vector addition triangle law. Then your evidence, which is substituting your specific matrix or IJK values into the formula. Then your explanation, showing the clear step-by-step arithmetic without skipping lines. And finally, the link, which is stating your final answer in the exact format and context requested by the original question. That is how you win. The Cambridge syllabus doesn't just want human calculators. It requires mastery of definitions, causal relationships, and higher-level cognitive domains like application and analysis. It is absolutely not just rote memorization. Let's do a quick mental visualization here. Imagine 2 sample answers side by side to see which one follows that logical Peel framework we just talked about. The answer on the left, let's say this is Alex's answer, just lists a random coordinate at the bottom of the page. No working. The answer on the right, the winning answer, explicitly states the position vectors first. It shows the written subtraction of vector OA from vector OB, it executes the arithmetic line by line, and then it links it all back to the specific geometric distance required by the question prompt. The right one wins every single time. It exhibits connected, conceptual understanding that is completely transferable to totally unfamiliar contexts. Let's move into section 2.
This is where the real transformation happens, where we take those red pen marks and flip them into green check marks.
Now, stop scrolling, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acexams_IGCSE, to excel in your Cambridge examinations. We've helped thousands of students improve by 2 to 3 grade boundaries. Join them right now by subscribing to at acexams_IGCSE and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly exam strategy sessions. All right, let's talk about the sheer, undeniable power of the method mark strategy. It's fascinating because examiners actively want to reward you for the process of solving vector notation, addition, subtraction, and scalar multiplication. When you're asked to multiply a vector by a scalar, the examiner isn't just checking if you know your basic times tables. They are actively checking if you understand that the scalar value distributes to every single component of that vector. If you clearly write out 3 multiplied by the vector quantity 2i minus 4j plus k, and then show the intermediate step of 6i minus 12j plus 3k, you have completely locked in the method mark. Even if, for some crazy reason, you accidentally write 6i minus 12j plus 4k on the final line because of a silly arithmetic slip at the very end, guess what? You lose the final accuracy mark, sure, but you keep the method mark. You stayed in the game, you hedged your bets perfectly. Let's walk through this standardized procedural sequence. Consider this your definitive mathematics success blueprint. Step 1. Identify key elements. Ask yourself immediately, are you dealing with position vectors tied to an origin, or are you looking at direction vectors floating in space? Step 2. Apply relevant principles. Is this a scenario requiring vector addition to find a resultant force, or is it subtraction to find a relative displacement? Step 3. Execute the analysis with crystal clear working. Write down every single step. Do not do it in your head. Step 4. Verify the results. Does the magnitude actually make physical sense based on the numbers? Step 5. Present in the appropriate format. Did they ask for column vector format, or did they specifically ask for IJK notation? Skipping any of these steps is a critical error that absolutely hemorrhages points. Think about how our rushing student Sam could have rescued their answer using these exact 5 steps. If they had just systematically deconstructed the command word, laid out the equation, and formatted it correctly, they would have instantly leveled up their entire grade boundary. We are now entering section 3. This is where we introduce the villains of our story. The direct, unfiltered feedback from the principal examiner reports. These reports detail exactly where thousands of candidates stumble every single year. I want you to mentally highlight these 3 massive pitfalls. We are going to do a quick challenge here. Imagine a 60-second timer on your screen, scanning through a massive data set of past paper mistakes. What's the core trend? Number 1. Answers are way too vague. Examiners are actively hunting for specific details in clear annotations, not your vague assumptions. If you just write down add the vectors together, that is way too vague. You get nothing for that. If you write calculate the resultant vector by adding the corresponding horizontal and vertical components of vector p and vector q, boom, that is specific, that gets marks. Number 2, incorrect format and presentation. This is a tragedy when it happens. If the question gives you all the data in column vectors, the unwritten rule is that you should generally work and provide your final answer in column vectors, unless explicitly told otherwise. Don't switch to IJK halfway through for no reason. Number 3, answers completely lack specific context. Looking at the examiner data across the board, the core trend is undeniable. A lack of clear working causes a massive 40% drop in potential marks. 40%?
And this slide brilliantly illustrates that exact point. Let's do a quick find the flaw exercise. I'm going to read you a flawed sample mathematics paragraph, and I want you to spot exactly where it loses marks. Ready? The vector is 5. It goes up, so I times it by 2. Did you catch all the flaws? Almost every single sentence is bleeding marks. Saying the vector is 5 dangerously confuses a vector with a scalar magnitude. Saying it goes up is completely non-mathematical terminology. Examiners want to see directional components, positive y-axis references, or specific angles. Now look at the winning approach on the right side of the screen. The magnitude of the position vector is 5. Its direction is along the positive y-axis. Applying scalar multiplication by a factor of 2 yields a new magnitude of 10. Do you see the night and day difference there? We are using proper mathematical headings, the correct technical terminology, and highly specific context. If you had 30 seconds to speed write a perfect Peel paragraph for an exam, that winning approach is exactly what it needs to look like.
We are shifting into our final section now, section 4. This is where we arm you with the ultimate tools for vector problem solving and critical analysis. This is where you graduate from just surviving the paper to absolutely dominating it.
So the crucial point is this powerful deconstruct, solve, evaluate framework used exclusively by top-scoring candidates. This right here is your complete mathematics answering system. First, deconstruct. Identify the given information. Are they handing you coordinates A and B on a platter, or are they giving you the translation vector AB directly? You have to know what you are looking at before you touch your calculator. Second, break it down into logical steps and solve it systematically. This ties directly into your time management matrix. Do not, under any circumstances, spend 10 minutes sweating over a simple 3-mark vector subtraction question. Decode the command word, apply the PL framework, and manage your time. Third, evaluate. Check for reasonability. This is huge. If you are calculating the distance between 2 points that are visually obviously close on a provided grid, and your calculated magnitude comes out to 5,000, you've made an arithmetic error. Catch it. Fix it. Now listen closely. Students who implement these exact mathematics strategies see an average improvement of 2 whole grade boundaries, but that only happens if they practice consistently with our weekly videos. Here's your final reminder. Subscribe to our YouTube channel Ace the Exams at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Subscribe right now to acetheexams_IGCSE and click that bell. Don't let another exam pass you by. Drop a comment below with your target grade for mathematics and the biggest challenge you're facing. Our team responds to every comment. Like and share this video with a study partner. Ace the Exams, your Cambridge success starts here.
Before we wrap up, I need to emphasize something the syllabus explicitly states. Top-tier A-star candidates consistently integrate vector principles with other syllabus areas. Vectors don't exist in a vacuum. Can you use vectors to prove complex geometric properties? Like, can you show that 2 lines are definitively parallel simply because one vector is a scalar multiple of the other? Can you use the dot product, which comes up a lot later, to find the exact angles between 2 pathways? Engaging in this kind of cross-topic comparative analysis and backing it up with step-by-step evidence is exactly what pushes you from a solid B to an elite A-star. I want to leave you with this final, highly provocative thought as you prepare for your paper. Ask yourself honestly, are you just calculating vectors, or are you actually proving your mathematical logic to the examiner? Remember Alex and Sam from the very beginning of our session. Don't just act like a human calculator and throw raw numbers at the page hoping something sticks. Play the examiner's game. Secure your method marks, meticulously follow the structural frameworks we discussed, and clearly, confidently communicate your conceptual connections. Do that, and you won't just pass. You will achieve true exam mastery. Keep practicing, keep analyzing, and we'll see you in the next explainer.